Limiting belief number 14. What is meant to be will happen. You may not know what is going to happen when you try, but if you do not try, nothing will happen. And worrying is a waste of time, no matter what happens. Remember, I mentioned worrying is indeed a waste of time, because no matter what is going to happen in life, you're just wasting time worrying about it, because you can't change it. And if you can, then go ahead and do it. But the reality is that worrying about it is just wasting your time and creating a lot of negative energy within yourself. Limiting belief number 15. I am worthy. That's what we need to say. We need to be confident. But the limiting belief is the reverse. I don't deserve money. I don't deserve recognition. I don't deserve success. I'm just not worth it. A lot of people say this toward themselves, like self-talk. I've had this self-talk with myself a lot of times until I realized I had to have a checkup from the neck up. I had to think about things differently. One of the best quotes I've ever read about something like this is Anais Nin. And she said, "We don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are." This is so true. Remember what I said earlier, perception is reality. What you perceive to be true is real. If you see something that someone else doesn't see, then that's your reality, not theirs. So again, we see the world as we are, not as it is. So try to see the world as it is and not think too much about who you are and how your interpretation of it is, because it may be wrong. You may be able to get that job. You may be able to be successful. You will learn something new. You will be recognized. You will make a lot of money. But you have to have confidence. You have to get out of that zone of fear and say to yourself, I am worthy. Remember those two powerful words, I am. They can move mountains, those two words. So I am worthy. If you say that enough times, you will become worthy, because you'll start to believe it. And if you believe it, you'll be motivated enough to make it real. Think about the small victories from the past where you improve some aspect of your life. Think about it. You've succeeded before in many, many ways, even little things. Think about those. Did you donate to a cause that you cared about? Oh, congratulations on making the world a better place if you did. Or have you done something brave that inspired others? I'm sure you have. And I'm sure you're someone's heroes, your kids, your parents, your friends. You're someone's hero. You absolutely are. Believe me. And if you don't, just ask someone and they'll tell you how important you are to them. Internalize the fact that a better life for you means a better world for all. Find successful role models that you can emulate. Again, success leaves clues. Find someone that you emulate, that you admire, that you care about. They don't have to be in person. They could be somebody that you read in an autobiography or biography, or something that you've seen in a movie, whatever. But emulate that success by trying to copy that mindset, of success. So we view the world in the way that we choose to. What you think of yourself is much more important than what people think of you. And the reason I repeat this is because oftentimes people say something to you and it devastates you. You think, oh my God, I'm not worthy enough. I'm not smart enough, because they said so. Maybe someone tells you that, your parents, your teachers, your students, your whatever it is, that whoever it was in your life, and you internalize that. Don't do that. Remember, what's important is what you think of yourself, and try to be very positive. What you think of me is none of my business. If you say to me that you don't like me, well, what you think of me is none of my business. Remember, it's not my circus, not my monkey. Limiting belief number 16. We're afraid of making the wrong decision. Who hasn't been afraid of making the wrong decision? All of us. I mean, really. Think about it. You don't want to take that course, you might fail. You don't want to take that job, maybe you're not good enough. What if I make the wrong decision? This is a fear of making the wrong choice. It's called decidophobia. It's the irrational fear of making decisions. We're afraid of making the decisions. And what causes the fear of these decisions that we don't make? Maybe significant others will be affected by the choice, our family, our friends, our children. Money always plays a role. We're afraid to do something with money because we may never get it again, or we may, maybe not invest it, or, think about that. Think about, maybe read about what successful people have done and try to emulate them, but don't be afraid to make a decision. There's also a fear of missing out. It's called FOMO, FOMO, fear of missing out of things that, what if I don't do this? What am I missing? And should I do it or shouldn't I do it? I'm not sure, so there's that fear of missing out. You lack trust in the situation. You're not sure. Do I really trust this person or this situation? I don't know if I can make a decision because I'm not sure. So research, find out what's in your best interest and make a decision one way or the other. And remember, decidophobia is not being able to make a decision one way or the other. You're stuck on a fence. You're not moving. You're immobilized. You're scared. Fear has taken over you, and you're frozen. The decision will involve more work. Okay, if I take on more work, I don't know if I like that, so I'm not going to make a decision. If somebody asks you, can you take this on, or can you take over my shift, or can you help me with this? And it might involve more work. You can't decide because it's unknown. You don't know what's going to happen, and again, it paralyzes you. So make a decision one way or the other. Also, there might be peer pressure. Your friends might say, don't do this, or you should do this, and you don't know. You're kind of stuck again. So be careful that you're not put into this category. Here's the side effects of the fear of making decisions. You miss out on relationships. Well, what if it goes bad? What if I get hurt? What if this happens? What if that happens? Well, then it's an experience, right? Or losing an opportunity for promotion at work. I'm not going to apply for the next job because maybe I'm, not good enough. I'm not going to apply. Remember, I always say to people, apply for everything that you feel you are, that you have the experience or the skills for. You never know whether you will be chosen for that position or not if you don't try. So don't worry about whether or not you're going to be promoted if you don't apply for that promotion. Just apply for it. And if it works, great. If it doesn't work, then it's an opportunity that you might have in the future again. Again, another fear of making decisions is you lack travel experiences. I'm not going to go overseas. Everything is dangerous in the world. I'm not moving from I'm too comfortable here. I'm never going anywhere. And so you never have any other experiences outside of your own inner circle or your own little town. Or money issues money issues also are a side effect of making decisions because you can't decide what to invest in or how much to save. So again, money is a big issue for most people, but remember, you have to make a decision one way or another and be happy with the decision that you make and move forward. Don't don't say, what should I have done? Or, make a decision, whatever it is, and move forward. So how to manage the fear of making decisions? Again, it's also called decision anxiety. When you feel a sense of dread, or you're shaky, or you feel faint, you're kind of rapid heartbeat, you're scared, Keep your long-term goals in mind. That's very important. Or maybe ask for advice. If something's really important for a decision, ask for advice. Act as if, again, that's an important factor in life, is act as if it's going to be what you want to see it to be. So it's as if it's going to happen, that's what's going to happen. You remember, your mind is powerful. You are what you think. So act as if it's going to happen if that's the case. Focus on potential gains. If I do this, am I going to lose or am I going to gain? Well, focus on the fact that, you might gain on this. So focus, do it, and if it's something that you want to do in terms of money and invest, then do research, do a lot of research, and then let it go. And whatever happens, happens. But that you want to focus on the positive, on potential gains, and expand your comfort zone. Get out of it, because again, if you stand still, you lose ground. You must move forward. You have to. Otherwise, you're going to be left behind. So if you fail, it's not a reflection of who you are as a person. Absolutely not. It's just an event. Set a deadline. If this doesn't happen by this time, then maybe I'll let it go, or maybe I'll set another deadline, whatever, depending on what it is that what decision you're making. And practice self-care. Take care of yourself. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't worry too much. Again, worrying is a waste of time. I mean, everyone worries about this, that, or the other, of course, but don't linger on that worrying, because it's just going to immobilize you. It's going to paralyze you. And then you won't be, able to help anybody else, at least of all yourself. And at the end of the day, prepare for bad outcomes. If something happens, it'll happen. And prepare for it. I mean, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And then let it go. Because if you keep worrying about it, I know it's coming, I know it's coming, I know it's coming, and I'm freaking out about it, I don't like it, I'm nervous, I'm angry, then you're just in a perpetual state of sense of dread. You're choking. You just look like this person, and he looks pretty miserable to me.